In close quarter combat, a lot of people, like I say, most everybody, only thing they can relate to is the movies. And but it's far more intense than what can be put on a movie screen. And as I showed you, the triangle. Now, I want to reflect a little bit more about Vietnam. And because like I say, I learned a lot. And it's all the stuff that I learned that I've been able to apply throughout my life, clear up until now. I still use the tactics that I learned from there. And these are that's the reason why I share this. So not only for personal self-defense, but like I say, for the three-man militia. Now in Vietnam, we would have our fighting hole, and it's about chest high, and it's rectangled, and at the ends they're cut off, so it's cut down, so it's like steps, so you can get out of it. And we would sleep next to that hole. So through the night, when something bad would happen, we'd just roll off into the hole. And like I say, a lot of people think there's a lot of shooting going on. There's not that much shooting, not for us. The thing is, we were always outnumbered, so we'll use up all of our ammo. So, we talked about the triangle and the fighting hole. This is it. You have your triangle on both sides. You got a triangle on both sides. So we're only concerned about anybody that comes within, let's say, 10 yards of our hole. If you're outside that 10 yards, we're not worried about it. More than likely, the next hole is going to be 10 to 20 yards to your flank, to your side. And now see, we come in the middle of the night, we walk up a side of a hill, and then we dig these holes, and it's dark, and we think we have the hole facing outwards. You don't always know, because there's no lights. You don't have any idea what's going on. And so you dig your hole, and come morning, what you really want is like a ravine right in front of you. That's really what you want. And that's because everybody passes around you. If it's a ravine, nobody walks up a ravine, you know, like it's a side of a hill and it's got a little valley on the side of the hill. Nobody's going to walk up that. They walk up the ridge of the hill. And you got to remember, when we're attacked, they're running up the hill. So it's self-defense. We are defending our spot. Now, 20 yards over is the next hole. Now, we don't know, because we don't know the terrain. It's dark when we moved in. And so that right through the night, you'll see right over here, 20 yards to your left or to your right, you're going to see lots of gunfire. And most of the time it's them doing the shooting, because we can't shoot that much. We can't reload that much. And but you'll see all the shooting, and I mean, it's hell breaking loose, and it's 20 yards over from you. And you know, those people are catching hell. Now, if they're going to make it to morning, you know, we don't know. You won't know until morning. But it could have been just as easy as it could have been our hole when they're coming up. It's just the luck of the draw where you're at through the night when this all happens. But anyway, what I'm saying is, when the people come in close quarter combat, they come as fast as they can. If it's flat ground, they're running. I mean, it's a clash. You do see, now this is accurate on the movies, and that's because back in the days when they used all hand weapons, no guns, you'd see the two sides would run and clash into each other. Okay, it's basically the same thing in combat. If you're not using a gun, a lot of times your guns get shrapnel gets hit them. You get a bullet that'll hit them and they'll stop working. So you still keep your gun because it's a club, and then you're running, and as you're running, you'll see this guy in front of you, and he's got his gun and he's got a bayonet on it. It's scary. So you don't walk up and then you do your let's have some close quarter combat now. That's not the way it's done. You're running, and you're running up on him, you're thinking, shit! And then bammo, you clash. And you're so fast. I mean, it's just that fast. And that's why normally you get one hit, one shot on either killing or disabling this person. One hit. So right when he's running up on you, and then bammo. Now see, you're standing. You are standing in your area. Remember, that's what I was showing about the ground, uneven ground. So not only they're tired as they're running, and they're off balance because they're running, and then the ground, so you're familiar with the ground, they're not, and so their balance is off. They're not quite as good. So you do have the advantage. It's hard to believe, but you really do. You do have the advantage. And then, but like I say, you've got to have a plan. You see the way I was using the tomahawk. I can use it as a block and hit, block and hit. And you see, my hand motion is like this. It's the same thing. I block and I strike. Whether I'm using a knife, whether I'm using my hands, tomahawk, it doesn't make any difference what I'm using. One hand blocks and the other hand strikes. Or if you might use a weapon in both hands. I'm not that talented. That's more coordination you need. And you don't have time because you clash. And right when you clash, that's when, that's why I say you have a split of a second to know if you're going to win or lose. And that's why a lot of people don't understand. They think a fight consists of some time, and it doesn't. It's a split of a second. And so you have to get all your surroundings set up where you've got the advantage. And that's why I was saying the trip lines, the uneven ground, using a triangle type shape area that you're going to fight in, and you're not going to leave. These people in the next hole, they're having problems. You can't go over there. But when you go there, you're leaving your two. You're leaving them weak. Now, if you have to go over there, all three of you will move to that position. We didn't do that in Vietnam because we also had another thing, you kill anything that's not in the hole. So, because like I say, we would have artillery come in. That's another thing that gave us the advantage. When things got too bad, we would call in artillery and airstrikes and stuff like that right on our position. That's why we have our holes. We get in our holes and we kill anything that tries to get in our hole. When that stuff starts coming down, it's a nasty situation. It's the same thing. We use fire, we burn stuff, and it's bad. We use, like I say, we call it tanglefoot. It's trip lines. We use it as barbed wire, and it's about maybe a foot. We just put it up about a foot high. And that's why, and it's all like a spider web out in front of us when we're in a position that we're holding a position. And then this way, people are going to be tripping over it as they come up there. And then we add some mines in with it too. But that's how close quarters combat is done. So prepare yourself and prepare your team and work together. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.